Okay, hey there. I am going live for the first time in our group, and I'm hoping that you can hear me, and I don't think I have the video working. So, anyways, let's get started. I wanted to do this through Zoom, but I had some technical difficulties, so that wasn't working. So we're just gonna have to go with it, and it is what it is. All right, so welcome to day one of the Tutorpreneur Challenge. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to be doing so many cool things over the next 4 days, and I compiled basically the 4 most recently or most requested topics that I get on Instagram or Facebook from you guys so that you can start or grow your tutoring business with ease. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so this is a 4-day challenge. So every day I'm going to be going live on Facebook. If all goes according to plan with recording, I'm hoping you'll be able to catch the replay on my website. It'll be mollywheatley.com/recap. That is if this records. Like I said, I was having problems with Zoom and connecting it, so always remember that technology is great, but sometimes we can have issues with it. But tomorrow I'll be going live again. Saturday and Sunday will be the last day of the challenge, so I hope you can join every single day. What can you expect in this challenge? I think as a teacher, it's always great to set your students up for success, so I'm going to tell you what every day is going to bring. The first day we're going to talk about today, getting more clients without spending a bunch on marketing. And I've shared this before, but in my own tutoring business, I have spent $0 trying to get more clients. I have a tried and true method that I'm going to share with you today, and that includes a template. So you will be able to use that. You'll have some takeaway from today's training, and you'll have something actionable that you can do right away to try to get more tutoring clients. Now tomorrow we're going to talk about how to tutor online with ease. Tutoring online is really hot right now, and it's a great way to make extra money from home. And I've got some really great methods that you can use to either start tutoring online or try to get more tutoring online clients as well. The next day, Saturday, we're going to talk about multiple streams of income. I think this is something that tutors need to always be thinking about. Once you are successful with the clients that you have, you should be incorporating different ways to make money, and preferably some of them being passive. So making money while you sleep, as they say, and there's some great ways that I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. And then last but not least, on Sunday we're going to talk about what to include in a contract. I get this question a lot, and luckily for you, I have worked with my own lawyer on how to craft a contract so that you have all your bases covered, and there's some very good tips I'm going to be giving you on how to use a contract to have firm boundaries in place with your tutoring clients, and you'll be shocked how just the implementation of the contract will really make your tutoring business a lot more solid. Okay, well, if we haven't connected yet, let's connect. On Instagram is the main place that you can find me. I love Instagram, and I love talking to people in direct messages. But of course, you're on Facebook now, so our group is amazing. Tutorpreneur Tribe is a great place to reach out and talk to other tutors and get to know people better. But I think Instagram is a really hot place right now to find more tutoring clients, to connect with other teachers and tutors and people in your niche, and really build good working relationships with people, and look at people as your collaborators instead of competition. So if you haven't friended me there, my handle is Molly A. Wheatley. A is for my middle name because somebody else had my name taken. Okay, and if we haven't met before, hello, I'm Molly Wheatley. I am a tutor and a business coach. I help teachers and tutors start and grow their own tutoring businesses so that they can have at least $1,000 extra a month, if not more. I've worked with tutors who want to quit their job and go full-time, and they've been able to successfully do that. But I would like to add in that I am also a first grade teacher full-time. So last year I taught online from home because my school district allowed me to do that. And this year I will be going back in August to the regular classroom teaching first grade at a Title I school, the school that I've been at for the last few years. I'm married to my wonderful husband Mike, and I have a Pomeranian dog named Whoopi. And that's kind of a funny name, I'm sure you're thinking. But if you've ever seen the 80s movie Mr. Mom, then you'll get his name. It's the little boy's blanket. And I already mentioned that I'm a business coach. I work with people that are either starting their tutoring business, they're maybe at the intermediate level or advanced level. I've worked with all different types of tutors to really streamline, hone in, work on content creation plans, growing, getting more clients, getting a website, all the things that go into running a successful online or in-person tutoring business. I have worked with all of the above. I also blog every week, and I have a YouTube channel, so you might have seen me or found me on one of those ways. And in the Tutorpreneur Academy, I talk a lot about having a blog and the power of that to leverage your unique teaching gifts and your tutoring business so that you can find more clients and reach more people. And I'm also a coffee lover, which you'll often see me drinking coffee. Okay, so before we get into how to get more clients, I kind of want to talk about why tutoring makes the perfect side hustle. If you've already started a tutoring business, then I'm sure you will agree with this, all the things that I'm going to say. But if you're kind of trying to decide if you want to do it, then this is for you. But if you've already done it, then this is just reaffirming. So it makes the perfect side hustle because if you are a teacher, then you're going to be using skills you already have, which is what I love about it. I don't have to learn anything new. I don't have to try to sell something. I don't have to work hours that I don't want to work. So I'm getting to do all the things that I really love doing as a teacher, which is working one-on-one with kids. That's my favorite part about being a classroom teacher. And if you are in the classroom, you know that we do not get that one-on-one time with kids like we wish we could. It's just not possible. There's 20 to 30 kids in our classrooms at any given time. We're lucky to get our small group instruction. I'm at a title school, so there's lots of other things going on at certain times, so it kind of feels like a struggle to get that one-on-one, and we know kids need that. So that's why tutoring is amazing for that. You can set your own rate, your own hours, and you make all the rules, which I love the autonomy of working for myself and getting to create the lifestyle that I want. As a classroom teacher, we get that, but it's not the same. You still have to report somewhere, you still have a boss, but in your tutoring business, you get to be all of the above. And another reason that tutoring is just so amazing is because you start making money immediately. There's no waiting a month for it. If you want to get paid that day, then you set that up in your contract that you get paid after a session's over, which I don't know many jobs where you get paid right away and that you can get cash in your hand, but tutoring is certainly one of them. Okay, what are the benefits to you? I mentioned this earlier, but you don't have to sell anything. Former students easily become new clients. If you aren't in the classroom, we're going to talk about that when we get to the template for how to get more clients, so don't worry about that. And also, if you do work in a school district where they don't want you to tutor students, I've had a couple people message me on Instagram about that. But honestly, that's something you have to look at your teaching contract, and if you work in a school district that doesn't have a contract, then you have to decide what power they really have over your free time. But if that's something you want to talk about more in depth, then please send me a direct message on Instagram, and I'd love to talk to you about that. So like I was saying, former students easily become new clients. That is the bulk of the kids that I work with, and then word of mouth marketing takes me further because those parents talk about you when you're doing a good job, and parents that are in search of a tutor are definitely going to talk to their friends. And if you've been tutoring for a lot of kids, then you're going to have some really, really good testimonials. Grateful parents can help with teacher burnout. If you guys have followed me for a while, then you've heard my story of teacher burnout and how tutoring literally saved me. I mean, I was driving to school every day with tears in my eyes, wondering like why I got into teaching. And I started teaching later in life, so I always thought that's something I wanted to do. And all that to say, you've heard the story before, but it saved me from teacher burnout, and here I am still a classroom teacher today, loving my job and loving tutoring on the side. And I just saw a comment pop up from Learn from Home with Miss Larry. Love how you point out all the perks of tutoring. All so true. Yes. Okay. Thank you for acknowledging that. They're just so great. Like this summer I've just had so many moments where I'm like, I love this. And I don't know, you just can't beat that feeling. Okay, I've seen your question, Angie, and I'll get to that later. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so how do we get more clients without spending money on ads? I know ads can seem really tempting, but let me tell you from experience, they're very complicated to figure out, and they are not necessary when you're first getting started. And I don't even really think to run a successful tutoring business that you need them, unless of course maybe you are tutoring only online, but even then I don't think that you have to have them. So where can we get more clients? If you know any teachers or you are a former teacher, that is a great place to start. I recently worked with a high school tutor, and she had been out of the classroom, and one of the things that we worked on with her was sending emails to teachers she knew from her school to see if there were any kids that needed extra help. And there always are going to be kids that need extra help. Completely. I mean, they're just, especially right now, kids have been in and out of school, parents are trying to work from home, and it's just so stressful and hectic. Okay, Facebook groups. I think this is one of the most untapped resources. You can find parents that are asking around, so looking in parent groups to see the language that they're using, and use their own language back, like parrot it back to them. You know, if you find someone that needs help, message them, use their language. I heard that you are looking for X, Y, and Z. This is what I can help with. And then word of mouth marketing. That is what I talked about earlier. When you start tutoring, and if you're doing a good job, which I know you are, parents will start talking about you. And let me give you an example. So I have a friend who runs this place that is like a daycare, but it's also a school. It's a preschool, and kids can come there for after school care. She used to be one of my teaching partners at my old school. A parent there asked her about tutoring. She passed my name on to them. This was in the spring. They wanted to work with me over the summer, so I lined her up for the summer. In the meantime, this parent who had not even met me yet passed my name on to someone at church and said, she's going to be tutoring my son, here's her qualifications. And I started working with that kid before I worked with the kid that was signed up for the summer. And I didn't know either one of them. They were not former students. They just were word of mouth marketing. So definitely you have to let that take its course, and it will happen. It might not be overnight. And sometimes people just don't want to be patient with that, but I promise you, if you're patient, you'll get more clients that way. Okay, Taylor just commented, pretty much every single client I've had has been from a Facebook group. That's amazing. See, you just have to know where to look, and getting people, over time you will build a client list. And then even when you have tutoring clients that phase out over time, you'll get new ones. Like you'll get to the point where you have a wait list, and that is the most amazing part of a tutoring business, when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I want to take you on, but I just don't have the time. Here's my wait list. Okay, so how do you craft the perfect message to get more clients without spending any money? So before you do anything, you need to have these things set in place, because one of the things that I'll talk about when we get to the day where we talk about how to make a contract is that when you have a contract, you eliminate that back and forth email that gets kind of obnoxious. You know, it's like, what do you offer? Okay, what day works for you? So that's what I want you to figure out first, is determine the hours that you actually want to work, that work for your family, your personal life, all of that. At first it can be really tempting to just work whenever, but you'll find that if people really want to work with you, which they do, they will bend to your schedule. And you get more of a backbone the longer you do it. I had a client this summer ask me if I would just come like basically every day at her beck and call, and I said no. Like Tuesday, Thursday are the days that I'm tutoring, and she was fine with it. It wasn't confrontational, it's just very straightforward. Okay, so again, determine the hours you wish to work. Contract. You do need to have some kind of contract in place. We'll talk about that on Sunday, so I will help you with that part of it, because that part can be kind of tricky, like what do you need to put in it. You also need to have your rate set and just be really confident with it. Don't be wishy-washy or like, what do you think I should charge? Like, figure out what your rate should really be based on the time you're spending prepping, if you're driving anywhere, your level of expertise. Do you have a master's degree? Whatever. You need to get paid what you're really worth. That's a whole other conversation that we could have for sure on that. And then be specific on what you offer. If somebody wants chemistry tutoring but you're strictly algebra, then stick to what your tutoring niche is and have a very comprehensive list of your services always ready to go, so that if people are asking you, you could have that on your website, you could have that on a little brochure that you hand out, something that is specific, because the more specific you are, the more likely you are to get clients. If you're just like, I tutor whatever, well, that's just too broad. Okay, well, we're talking about the perfect message. How do you get your message out? Email. That is the cheapest, freest way to get your message out to people, and that's the template I'm going to provide you with today. It's the best way to reconnect with former students' families or former clients, and a great way to share your message with potential clients. So when you see the template and the couple slides, you will be able to plug and play and use it however you want. And I'm also going to provide that to you. So on my website, mollywheatley.com/recap, I have already on day one, you can download the actual email template, so you can use it however you would like, and personalize it, of course, so that it fits your own unique voice. If you like it exactly the way it is, then of course use it. But this is a great template to use because perhaps maybe you worked with someone before, but they've got a little sibling that you're like, ooh, that's another person I can work with. Siblings are a great way to make extra money tutoring because they're already in the same home, let's say, or you already know the family, so it's just a really great opportunity to connect with the same people again and get more business from them. Okay, so here's the template that I just talked about. So generic, of course, but it says, hi, Mr. or Ms. Smith. I hope you're doing well during this crazy time. Tim is in 4th grade now, right? So I think it's important to reference the child's name, the grade that they're in or that they're going into. It's summertime now, so you might put that in there. Ask how school is going if it's during the school year. Right now you might say, are they in summer school? How's that going? I wanted to let you know I've started a tutoring business. I'm available after school on weeknights, so you get really specific, like the days that you're available, so you don't have to do the back and forth emailing. And I specialize in reading and writing, so that's where you will put in what your tutoring niche is and what you want to work with kids on. If you're interested in some extra help, oh, there's a typo there, extra helps, or enrichment for Tim, I'd love to help you guys out. So I think that's important too, because sometimes kids don't need tutoring for remediation. Sometimes they need enrichment. And there are parents willing to pay you to work with their kid to get them ahead in something or to work on something fun. Like I shared a lot this year about a former kindergarten 1st grade kiddo that I had. I had her for 2 years, and her parents reached out to me this year to have a real teacher come to their house with all this online learning and just do enrichment with her because she was ahead in everything. So one of the projects we did was we built a solar powered robot. We did a lot of science together because that's what she wanted to do. So it was really fun and really cool for me as a 1st grade teacher to get to work with an older kid and try something new, even though that's not my tutoring niche per se, but it was a family I already knew, a kid I was crazy about, and a fun project. So I think adding in remediation, obviously you probably wouldn't use that word with a parent, but adding in the enrichment part would be great for you. If not, would you mind sharing my name with anyone who is interested in tutoring? I appreciate your time and look forward to hearing from you. So I think that is a great way to also say, like, if you're not interested, there's no pressure, but could you pass my name on to other people? And that's where that word of mouth marketing comes in. And there is also a follow-up to this, which we're not going to get into today. It's something I do teach in the Tutorpreneur Academy. There is a way to follow up with people if you don't hear back from them. But I think for the most part, this email is a home run. You will get responses from it, and if you don't, then you can always, check in with them. And a lot of times people will look at their email and not answer right away, or they forget to answer, and so checking in with them is kind of like a tap on the shoulder, and you're not being annoying, you're just trying to help them with a specific problem, and you have the solution for it. Okay, so your homework for today is you're going to get the template minus that little typo of the extra S on there on my website, and I'll also put it in the Facebook group too. I'll share it there so you don't have to go to that extra step. And take the template and send it to 10 parents or people that you know today. So it doesn't have to be former students if you're not in the classroom. It can be people in your neighborhood. It could be people from, maybe there's a group that you're a member of, maybe your church group, somewhere that you know people with kids. There's kids everywhere that you can think of. If you have that relationship with them already, even better. I don't really recommend sending like a cold email to someone when you know how it is, like if you get a direct message from someone on Instagram and you don't know them and they're trying to sell you something, it feels kind of eh. But if people already know you and they like, know, trust you, then this email comes across as authentic and that you really are wanting to help, because at the end of the day you are. So you want to work with kids, you're good at it, and it's just an extra way to let people know what services you have. A lot of times we think we're being salesy, but really we're just reminding people that this is what we do. We're a tutor and we can excuse me, provide a lot of extra help to their kids. So another thing that you guys could start working on during this challenge is to start joining forces with other tutors. There's tons of Facebook groups aside from the Tutorpreneur tribe that you can join. A lot of times people will say, I have this person that needs X, Y, and Z, but I'm not qualified. Does anybody want to take this client on? It's a really great way to connect with other tutors and meet people that perhaps you could take different jobs from. Instagram is awesome as well. There seems to be a really big tutor community growing on there. So I think it's great to use the buddy system and kind of pair up with someone that's maybe doing something similar to you, so you have somebody to check in with and ask questions of and really connect with. So that would be high on my list if I were starting from scratch. So we talked about this a second ago. You're going to send that email to 10 parents today. And then I think it's really helpful to post about it on Facebook or Instagram, because you're basically like letting the universe know what you just did and you're manifesting it. So using the hashtag Tutorpreneur Challenge so that we can check in on each other and see how it's going, and then you can cheer on your tutoring friends. Okay, so I'm hoping by the next time that I am live on here that I am able to actually show my face. I have no idea why that's not working, but I will get that up and running, and I will hope to have this video saved so that it can be on the replay part of my website. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to tutor online with ease. I'll be going live at noon tomorrow to talk about that, so I'll definitely post about that again in the Facebook group so you can remember. And Angie asked a question at the end of this about tutoring business. How do you do taxes? That is very complicated, and believe it or not, in the Tutorpreneur Academy, my online course, I do have a whole section about that, because it's one of the biggest things that you can easily tackle in your tutoring business that will enhance your business, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of things that you can write off with tutoring, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really give legal advice. I just tell you what I do and the systems and processes that I use. But that would be a longer discussion for definitely another day. But Things quickly that I could tell you that you can do is writing off your miles anytime you buy supplies for your business, and there's some legal aspects of it, like establishing an LLC, but those are all, like I said, bigger things for another day. So Angie, you can feel free to message me about that. We can talk more about it for sure. I hope this training was useful. I really want to see you start using the template and get going and building your client list. The summer's the best time to do that. Kids are going to be going back to school in the fall. We don't even know what school's going to look like, so tutoring is going to be still very hot and in high need. All right, thanks so much for joining me live, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 to talk all about tutoring online.